I think this is the most important video I have ever published on this channel, and I know it's going to be massively helpful to you. In a moment, you're going to be able to watch a short compilation of me supporting both PDIs and ADIs, so hang around for that. I've trained hundreds of PDIs and ADIs who have often come to me because they've realised their current training isn't working for them. And these are the top 3 comments I hear. I don't understand the 17 competencies. How do I deliver effective client-centered lessons? And preparing for the part 3 test or standards check is really stressing me out. That's why I've created this new online resource, which is going to solve those problems for you. And stay tuned, you can find out lots more soon. Over the past 2 years, I've recorded many in-car and Zoom training sessions, which I have now compiled into a video library I want to share with you to help you learn, develop, and pass your ADI tests. This library gives you the opportunity to watch me supporting my trainees and learn valuable tips you can apply to improve your own lessons, realise many other PDIs and ADIs face exactly the same challenges as you, and learn from the essential advice and guidance that I give them, and massively increase your chances of passing your Part 3 or Standards check. There's over 20 hours of training broken down into 120 bite-sized videos, which you can watch on any device, anytime, and as often as you want, and I'll be adding more. Plus, you'll get unlimited access to me to ask any questions you want, so you can get that important one-to-one support as well. Okay, so here's a free sneaky peek of the content you'll be getting access to. Right, okay, so let's wrap things up for today though. And he's very familiar with this process, but from my own personal point of view, for my own benefit, I always like to check in with people at the end, see if I can pick up any learning points really, or just to get confirmation that I've in some way been of some help. So we'll start with you, Nick. Overall thoughts, just summary thoughts from today.
Well, I say, yeah, it's just kind of sort of mention what I said earlier, being much more open and to showing them what they're doing wrong rather than sitting there trying to draw diagrams and talk it through if it's not working. I'm still guilty of that, just trying to find different ways of talking to them. And there are times I've intercepted to see it's not going in. And I almost feel bad, in a way, for swapping seats with them. Because I worry about maybe them thinking, well, I'm not getting by his money, like you said. It's practice versus learning, and they don't want to learn over practice. And the also thing is potentially sort of demoralizing them. Say, look, you're not getting, sort of that, or you're not getting this, just you sit here, so almost like, demoted to the that seat, and then sort of, right, this is what you need to do. So there's still a little bit of me for today, or a bit of me that was still, even though I know I should be doing it, there's still a bit part of me that it finds it difficult to do that. I say, just what you showed me there, it doesn't need to take 10, 15, 20 minutes, as will do. Yeah, it can take 2 or 3 minutes, and it's just so much in there, just by a quick little demonstration.
And in terms of how the student feels,
it's funny this is because it's such a simple concept. I've never heard of it, never used it, and this would cure 99% of my students' problems. 99%.
in my experience, once you've got a student able to control a car without constantly struggling, so they're still not getting everything right. Yeah, they're missing mirror checks, they're missing indicators, perhaps they're stalling a few times, but yeah, they've got basic command in terms of the way that they drive, they control a car. Okay, now you're trying to take them on to the next stage of their development in terms of getting them to think like a driver.
Yeah.
Okay, because to begin with, if you consider the human brain as being, if you like, a microchip, okay, with a limited amount of memory capacity, when you're learning to drive in the early stages, all of that memory capacity or processing power is taken up by what they're doing with their hands and their feet.
Right. And they don't have that time to think, do they?
They don't have time to think. The outside world might as well not be there. Okay, they'll see it. It won't imprint or register on their brain. Okay, and that's why they miss things that are so blindingly obvious to us, because the processing capacity of the brain at that moment doesn't allow that to happen. But at some point,
Yeah. So, yeah, do you know what? I think I'll be all right.
from what you've explained to me, I think you're going to be okay. Because I think you've got your head in the right place. I think you're thinking about things in a common sense way.
Yeah.
I think you've recognised for yourself that a lot of the old-fashioned style of training isn't terribly effective.
Yeah.
And it makes life a lot more complicated for you and your students than it need be.
Yeah, because just in these last few days, when I've started implementing what I've seen you do in terms of, it has mainly been that roundabout thing, because it is quite a sticking point. If you don't explain it in a simple way, it's hard. So when I've simplified it down, the difference has been massive. Massive.
You know, and I can just like,
I'm sure you would have heard the term before, but you'll often hear it when, obviously you probably won't unless you at some point move into training driving instructors. But one of the common pieces of feedback that I come across when I'm looking at the feedback the examiners have given to PDIs and ADIs on their standards checks is, look, quite often less is more.
that's what I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't boil the ocean. Don't flood your student with so much stuff that they're crumbling, they're wilting and crumbling under the pressure of what you're asking them to do. Just work on one or two things at a time. Work on them as simplistically as you can, and try to encourage them throughout that process to learn, to develop, to take responsibility, to discover solutions, to demonstrate to you that they're understanding it and they're getting it and they're feeling better at putting it into practice.
Yeah.
As long as you're demonstrating those qualities to us, then we know that as long as you continue to do that, it will work with any student on any subject in any area. It's what we're assessing is your ability to understand the processes and the techniques that are required to teach somebody effectively.
Yeah.
We don't care what it is that you're teaching them, because as long as you're demonstrating those core qualities and skill sets, we know you have the ability to apply them to any situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the good guys. Yeah. Cool. Right. So, in summary then, because I always like to get a little bit of feedback in the same way as I would with a student. So from your point of view, in your own words, could you just sort of summarize how you feel, and don't feel like you need to sort of be kind or anything like that. Be honest. How do you feel this training session has gone the last 3 hours?
Spot on, mate. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, I have really enjoyed it. If we talk about, like, from everything that I've gone through, everything that I wanted answering has been answered in the way which I've found that is easy for me to understand.
Good. Anything in particular for you as a highlight?
The more the examples of how you talk through people, especially, because that's what I was like kind of looking for. Watch it, like listening to how you talk and thinking to stuff like, well, that's how I actually talk to people anyway. So it's not wrong. I'm not doing it wrong, and I'm not trying to. And then I'm not that's kind of give me a bit more confidence in thinking, right, actually, he's doing it that way. That's the way I do it. So why am I not like doing it in that way? In the sense,
Because you're focusing on the wrong person in the car.
yeah, which is, it's kind of opened my eyes a little bit more of like, yeah, I really need to focus on that person.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jeff. I really enjoyed that.
Good. Has it been useful? That's the main thing.
Oh, definitely. And I think I accidentally pressed record at the beginning, so I've recorded it so I can go back and have a listen again. I hope you don't mind.
And this is recording. No, absolutely. If you've recorded it as well, that's absolutely fine. If you find you haven't got access to the recording, just let me know, and I'll give you access to my recording.
Wonderful. And if you could send me that assessment sheet, that'd be great,
Yeah, I'll do that.
if you wouldn't mind. But no, thank you very much. And I've really enjoyed the course. And even this morning, I started again. I'm watching the videos again, and doing the assessments again. But yeah, it's just giving me a better idea of client-centered learning. And there's that word, is that conversation. That's huge. Is start a conversation, see what you can find out, and then work from there.
Right. So if I've heard you, because let me practice what I preach now. So if I'm just tuned into your feedback there correctly, what I've heard is you found this session useful. You found the course very useful.
Yeah.
And you feel like you've got a better understanding now of client-centered learning, and you've realized that a big part of that is about having conversations.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Is there anything else that you feel like you've taken away or is still not making sense for you? Other than, obviously, you still need to continue to practice. I'm making access to my PDI and ADI training video library super affordable. And for just a one-off payment, you'll get unlimited forever access. I know you're going to get so much value from this, so just click on the link in the description below to enroll. As always, with all our training resources, you'll get a 30-day full money back guarantee, no questions asked. So you have so much to gain and nothing to lose. Finally, here's just a little plea from me. If you do like my channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. Unfortunately, over 90% of people who watch my content haven't subscribed yet. So if you could just take a few seconds to do that, that would be really appreciated and amazing. Thank you. Okay, that's it for now, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.